Well, outside of the budget battles and conversations on healthcare, there's another central topic at the legislature. It's immigration. This week, we've started to see traction on the topic with new pitches on E-Verify. Joe, there were two pitches on the topic, data collection and doubling down on a law from last year. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's a major conversation that will continue at the State House for the next several weeks. House Bill 592 today, it centers on putting numbers to rhetoric and arguments that we've heard in recent years without data to always back it up. So it doesn't mean that claims in the past haven't been true. It's just that info has been tough to track. So this new bill establishes a new provision requiring all Medicaid accepting hospitals to collect information on all patients' immigration status when they're admitted to that hospital. The patient immigration status data will be submitted to the Department of Health and Welfare on a quarterly basis for review, answering the question, what type of resources are non-citizens using in Idaho and to what cost?
This is simply a data reporting transparency mechanism. We often hear that, there's certain cost drivers within the Medicaid program, and this is part of that transparency. Again, this should be fairly simple on data reporting. It's self-reporting.
Bill sponsor, Representative Jordan Redmond, explained that the bill doesn't change or question if a person can get care at the hospital. He says that this is a self-reporting mechanism for data collection. But Redmond was questioned during the committee about how reliable the data will be if it is self-reporting. Will people check a box admitting status or not? We already know that there are some communities that feel like this type of information could be threatening to non-citizens. Later in the day, a conversation about House Bill 83 from last year. You may remember it, called the Idaho ICE Act. It's signed into law, but it currently is paused for the most part. But it created a new state-level immigration crime and enforcement mechanism. And key provisions include that state immigration crime of making it illegal to enter Idaho outside of a lawful port of entry. It's a misdemeanor or a felony if repeated, or another crime under that law, re-entering the state after deportation. Now, these can only be enforced when someone is already detained for another crime. Again, it's currently blocked by a federal judge to preemption problems because of the federal immigration laws.
Again, that's part of our effort to navigate between state and federal law on the preemption issue and strengthen the state's ability to, utilize this as a state tool in conjunction with the federal tool. And our effort, again, is to avoid those preemption claims and the federal government or the courts simply just trying to take us out of that arena. We believe that this language strengthens our position in regard to the preemption issue.
So the conversations on immigration continue. Hunter, I know, again, especially with E-Verify that we saw just yesterday and these that we just talked about, a hot topic, especially in an election year.
Yeah, real quick on the E-Verify, is there talks about just holding up and waiting until federal figures it out? Because that was the conversation I had with, the Dairymen's Association and the Sugar Beets Association. Is that at all on the table?
I know proponents of E-Verify in Idaho say that regardless of what the federal government is doing, Idaho wants an Idaho solution and they want to get in front of it. The E-Verify that was pitched this week essentially says that all businesses have to use E-Verify with their employees. Right now, all state agencies have to do that. I've already heard questions, though, about can the government force private businesses to take certain actions? So even if it does pass, I know there could be some legal questions there.
Yeah, I've got some questions on that one. Joe, thank you.